in our last class, we created rather in our last class. Go to my SRC folder, to my online class folder, type in my CMD to bring up my command prompt, and then code space dot to bring out my Visual Studio Code. I believe I know that process already. I just went through. Oh, I actually need to open my project called First App, first of all. So what I'll do is that my project name is actually called First App, but currently I'm in a folder called what? Can you see my screen? What folder am I currently in right now?
Online
class. Online class, right? And now my project, my main project, the first app we created, is actually a folder of its own that is inside this online class. What I will just do is I will change the directory and go to online and go to the first app. So I'll just do cd space, cd stands for change directory space first underscore app. So this will open our project. So now we are now in this particular folder. So from here, I can write my code space dot and to open Visual Studio Code. At the same time, open this folder in Visual Studio Code. All right. So it's coming up. All right. So back to the project we looked at. All right. Now intro to. Let me increase my screen. I think it's better now, right? You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what I'll do, I want to start this project from scratch, but at the same time, I want to just quickly go through my slides, okay? And then I'll come back to this place to practicalize all the things we're talking about. So intro to widgets. So basically, we've seen the definition of widgets already. All right, we've seen the definition of widgets already. Now, in our last class, when we were looking at the architecture of Flutter, we also came across something called the widget tree. You remember? Do we remember that?
Yes.
The widget tree. We talked about that in our last class. Does anybody remember that? When we talked about the hierarchy of
Yes.
Okay, all right, perfect. So something similar to this, just almost like this. So this is a different diagram, but still similar to the widget tree. So we have widgets, you know. All right. So now let's look at some widgets that is actually some popular widgets in Flutter. All right, some popular widgets in Flutter. We have the there's one we've seen already, the scaffold widget. All right, scaffold widget. We have the app bar. So for every application you open, all right, let me just open one very quick. All right, let me open one really quick. There was a project worked on. Let me just quickly open that. So I can easily explain what I'm talking about. All right. It does me 1 minute. Those are projects. So I want to open this the project I worked on, okay, and show you to explain what I'm actually talking about right now. All right.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me again?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. I said I was opening a project. So I actually want to explain the different type of widgets we have. So I want to open a project for an old project so I can easily explain what I'm talking about. All right. All right. Okay, if you are sending a message in the chat right now, I might not be able to see it. All right, I'm not currently in the chat. So if you want to say anything, you can just say what you want to say, then put off your mic when you are done.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll go to main.dart. Okay, so while it's coming up, there are different types of widgets for different things in Flutter. All right, different kind of widget for different things in Flutter. So let me. So we have the scaffold, a widget called scaffold. We talked about scaffold already. All right, a widget called app bar, a widget called button navigation bar, a widget called tab bar, a widget called tab view, list tile, raised button. So basically, these kind of widgets are. Okay, I wanted this guy to just come on so I can show you a quick example of what I'm talking about. Okay, still my project is still loading. Okay, so while it's loading, when it's done loading, I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I have the scaffold, a widget called app bar, some of the popular ones, a widget called button navigation bar. Okay, if you go to if you're with your phone there, okay, let me just use WhatsApp as an example. If you're on your phone, just open your WhatsApp. All right, just open your WhatsApp. If you're on your phone. Are we together? Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have your phone, just open your WhatsApp. The first screen you see, I want to explain what the different widgets there are. All right. So if you are using, okay, it doesn't matter the device you are using, be it Android or iOS, doesn't really matter. So for the app bar, if you see the place they wrote WhatsApp, and then you see an icon by the right hand side, a camera icon, and there 3 dots, hamburger icon. Can we see that?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the app bar. All right, that's referring to that widget. So you want to create something like that, maybe you want to create something like that, just like WhatsApp. Yeah, that class is called the app bar. All right, so a widget
I'm
called
not
app
sure
bar.
I have it. So I've not seen anything like that.
In your WhatsApp,
Yes.
once you open your WhatsApp, you see at the top of WhatsApp, once you're on your chat screen, at the top of WhatsApp, you see you see a place that wrote WhatsApp, and then by the right hand side, you see camera icon and an icon that has 3 dots in it.
Mine is not like that. Oh, okay, okay.
What kind of phone are you using? Is it an iPhone?
Yes, I've seen it.
But you should still have that same. You should still have that.
But there's no. What was confusing me? They just wrote chat here, nothing like WhatsApp here.
You just chat. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I think that was the issue. All right. So, but that top bar you are seeing there, that thing on the top there, is actually referred to as your app bar. All right.
Okay.
Then next one we are seeing here is the bottom of it. So I'm not really have time to explain all of them that are here. All right. So next one we have here is the bottom navigation bar. So basically, if you look down in your phone, in your WhatsApp screen, the last thing you see chats, updates, communities, and calls. That's what we are seeing, something similar to what we are seeing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So if that's what you are seeing, that is actually to actually get something like that done. Flutter has a widget called the bottom navigation bar. All right, the bottom navigation bar widget. Flutter has a widget for that. All right, bottom navigation bar. So also have other widgets like tab bar view, list tile, raise button. Okay, for the list tile, basically the way your messages are arranged. See the way your messages are arranged. one message on top of the other, just like that. All right, that's actually, so if you want to do something like that, is a widget called list style that helps you arrange a list of, or how do I put it now? To actually arrange things in a list, just where you have something like a list. All right, so you like your Gmail, like your WhatsApp messages you are seeing, they're all in a list of messages. Your emails are a list of emails. So if you want something similar to that, you have something called a list style. We also have raise button, so basically a button. We have elevator button, text button, some similar buttons. There's also a flag button on the rest. We also have something called a floating action button. I like this one. So a floating action button. Now, if you look at there's a place you normally press if you want to add, you want to chat with the contact that is not currently, you want to chat with a new contact, you want to view your contact. You see that plus button, right?
Yeah.
That plus button at the that's floating. So even if you scroll up and down, you just do on this one. I think it's green.
Yes, it's still there.
Yes, that is. So you want to achieve something like that. It's not a widget called floating action button. All right. So there are so many buttons. So button called text field, what's called button bar, slider, radio, checker, a text widget, a date picker, a slider. So many widgets out there. All right. I'm going to be working with them as we go along this course. All right.
Okay.
So next we have a particular type of widget called the layout widget. All right, called the layout widget. Okay, hold on, let me just launch this project. Okay, so let me go back to our project. Let me go back to the first app. So what I want to do, I want to clean up all those things that were there before, all those code that was there in that first app before. But I'm going to clean it up and we're going to start and just build something small from scratch. All right. So first of all, first thing I want to do is to delete everything in this main.dat. All right. So once it comes up, I'll be deleting everything in main.dat. All right, so I want to delete everything in main.dat file. So I just press Ctrl A and then backspace to delete everything. All right, so from the beginning, first thing I want to do is I want to import a package from the Flutter folder called material.dat. Why is it not different between material.dat and Cupertino.dat? All right, so because I want to use the Android design, I'm going to be using the import the package. Let me increase my screen. The package. Just hold on, please. Okay, just hold on, I'm coming. I think my system is still loading for some weird reason. So I'll fix that later on. Just give me a moment. I'll be with you shortly. So I'll say Flutter. So I'm going to be importing a package. All right. So import package from Flutter slash material dot start. Okay, so next I want to have is my void main. Void main. And now next I will have my run app. Okay, run app function. Now this function will do for me is to so what app we want to run? I want to run it. Let me just call it my app. So I'll say I have a class called my app. My app. All right. So now let's go and create this class called my app. So I'll say okay. Okay, you know what? Just give me a minute. A minute. I will rejoin the meeting. Let me just restart my device. All right, I will rejoin the meeting. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, sir.
Okay, just be like 5 minutes. Let me restart my device.
Yeah.
Let me know what's wrong. Okay. Okay, I think it's responding. Okay, just hold on. I think it's responding now. I don't. Okay, let me just restart the device. I'll be with you shortly. Okay, hello everybody. Sorry for the break in transmission. I had to. Can you hear me? I had to restart my laptop. Okay. Are we? Are we? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Perfect. Okay. Okay. People are leaving the chat. Okay. So let me share my screen again. I'll go back to the class. To go back to the class. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen now. All right, so back to the different kind of widgets we have. So what I was doing last time before the call ended, of why I left the call, was I was in my text editor, all right, and in my text editor on my IDE, I was starting the project. I started the project from scratch. Okay, so I'll say import package. So the package from Flutter / material dot start. Okay, so I'll come here and say void main. Okay, run app. Run app is a function, and I'll come here. I will say, let's call this class my app. My app. So we have to come down here and create this class called my app. So now the shortcut for doing this, because a widget is basically this my app now is a widget, all right, that we're creating that'll be like the parent of the other widgets we want to use now. All right. So the the I told us before that a widget basically is a class that extends a stateful or a stateless widget. Do you remember from the last class? Do you remember that? It extends a stateful or stateless widget. So this run app, if I hover around it, look at it, run app is a function that is expecting our parameter to be a what? To be a what now? A widget.
Okay.
All right. It's expecting that whatever app we put here should be a what now? Should be a widget. So we have to create that widget. And the widget we just put here is a widget basically is a class that extends a stateless or a stateful widget. All right. So I'll come here, I will say, now, normal way if I want to write this, I'll say class. Normal way to create a class in that class, the name of the class, let's say, that was the name of the class was my app. My app extends, because it's going to be a widget, so extends stateful, or let me say do stateless widget for now. Stateless widget. Now do this, and then there's a very long implementation which I'm not going to go through now. But now there's a shortcut to actually do this, to actually get the implementation automatically, all right, using a shortcut. So the shortcut is I'll just come here, all right. So everything I need for the build function, normally after writing this, I have to come here, put a build function that returns a widget function, and then, all right, of course, a constructor, all right, a constructor, and then start putting all this. But there's a shortcut to actually just writing all this class, all the things you need for your Flutter, for your stateless widget. So because I'm writing a stateless, because I want my widget or my class to extend a stateless widget, I'll just come here, I'll just write STL. I use my screen. If I just write STL, I will have an option for either it to be a stateless widget or a what? Or a what now?
stateful widget.
The stateful widget. All right.
Stateful widget.
I'm going to choose stateless widget for just instead of typing, like I said before, don't type. I might not be able to look at the chart right now. All right. But for now, just say what you want to say and then you can put off your mic when you are done. All right. So I'll choose stateful widget. Sorry, stateless widget. We'll get to this later on. Stateless widget. So as I just stated widget, all this code from line 7 to line 14 was generated for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change, obviously, the name of the class. We call this my app. So I'll change the name of the class to my app. And I'll change the name of the constructor also, because it must be the same name with the what's it called? The class name. So I'll say my app also. All right. So the class name, and so basically this stateless widget has created this for us. So next thing we want to have is we want to return this build function. Basically what the build function does, I think I said this in the last class, it actually builds your application. So next what we want to have first is something called the material app. So material, from what we saw in the last class, material app. Now material app, if I hover around it, material app has a property called what?
Home.
Now, okay, basically, look at the properties. Every class has properties, right? Properties are methods. If you remember that, right? Class have properties and methods. Now, every class has properties and methods. Now, the properties of this class, that's what we call a property called navigator key, scaffold messenger key, home, route, initial route. There are so many properties. And now each of these routes, each of these properties have something they accept. Like now, title. Title is a property that accepts a data type of string. Color is a property that accepts something called what now? A data type of what now? Color, or a class color. Theme accepts a class or a widget called theme data. Just like that, just like that. The rest have their own. So what we want to use is the widget called home. So I'll come here inside my material app. I'll type in home. Now home is expecting a widget. Now normally what we just write is we can use any widget, but first of all, I'm going to start by writing the scaffold widget. Remember that I said scaffold is used for it helps us, just helps us do a lot of things, help us with a lot of so instead of you having to do a lot of designs yourself, putting a lot of things together yourself, the scaffold widget just put those things together for you. All right, in terms of the padding, the margin, the color, basically a lot of things that scaffold just puts together for us. All right, so are we together?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if at any point you are confused about what I said or it's not making sense, just let me know. Okay, just let me know. All right. So material app. So how did we know? How did we know what material app, the property material app was accepting? We just took our cursor and we just hover around material app, and then we check. Oh, there's a property called home, and home is accepting a what? A widget. So it means any kind of widget that what is accepting. So I will start by using the scaffold widget. So I'll say scaffold widget. All right. So scaffold widget. Someone wants a const. So I'll add a const. Now the way Flutter works for us, works for us, it has a way of fixing errors for us. So when you have an error, Flutter can easily or quickly help. It's an error that can quickly be fixed. Flutter will help you quickly fix that error. So for now, I have an error here, and for me to quickly fix that error, I'll click on where the error is, and I'll type control and dot, control and full stop. So control dot. Let me go to material app. Control dot will show me the different options.
Are we supposed to be writing the code and follow you? Should we follow up with the code and write it on our PC? Yeah, should we follow the code and write it on our PC or just watch?
If you think you'll be fast enough, no, just watch. Just watch.
Because right, I'm not understanding something, so.
Okay, if you can just be taking notes, you just put some things down. Like I said, if there's any parts you do not understand, do well to let me know that area. All right, if you got confused, just let me know.
I don't understand anything from the beginning.
From the beginning?
Yeah, it's from this, when you started writing this specific code.
Which of the specific code is that? This one?
Yeah, it's when you started writing code at all.
Okay, from the beginning of the code at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you in the last class? Okay, is that Isaiah?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, you're in the last class.
Yeah.
Okay, let me start again. All right. So the first thing we want to do in our project is to import the package, the material app package. So I'll say import package. So from the package is located in the Flutter folder. So Flutter slash material. Remember why we're using material.dat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So coming down, you know this one already, word main.
Yes.
So let me just quickly write this one out. Now, word main. Now, we want to, sorry?
No, nothing.
Okay, all right. So what we want is that this is the entry point of the application, right? So whenever the app or the computer sees this place, it tries to run whatever is here, all right? Now, I want to have a function called, there's a function rather called run app. What that function does, as the name implies, run app, you already know what it's trying to do. It's trying to run the application, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the function is called run app. It's an input function, run app. Now, what app is it trying to run? Remember that we were talking about in our last class that, let me just, I think the slide is, okay. There's something called, remember in Flutter, everything in the Flutter is a widget.
Yeah.
Everything in Flutter is a widget. As long as if a widget basically is a class that extends a stateless or a stateful widget.
Okay.
All right, a stateless or a stateful widget. So I will say, if I hover around, now if I want to know what a particular function needs in Flutter, I'll just hover around it. A function or a class, I'll just hover around it. So I'll just hover around this run app. Now, what is run app expecting from me? Sorry?
Position argument, my app.
Exactly. So what is he expecting from me? He's expecting me to put a particular app here, but that app should be a what now? A widget.
A widget.
So whatever I put here should be a what?
Widget.
A widget. Okay, so I'll come here and I'll say, I want to create a widget. I'll call it, let's call it my app or my first app, anything you want to call it. I'll just call it my app. It's a class, obviously. A widget is a class, so make it like this. So now I've not yet created that widget.
Okay.
Now in widgets, there's something called stateless state. There's something called state management widgets. So basically, in Flutter, all widgets are derived from a stateless or a stateful widget. Remember, I told us that a widget is just a class that extends either a stateless widget or a stateful widget. Now, basically, what does it mean to be stateful or stateless? Now, in your application, at every point in your application, that's the state of your application. So how the UI looks currently, any app you open now, how the UI looks is the state of that application. Are we together?
Yes.
All right. So when a widget is extending a stateless widget, it means that stateless widget, basically, what stateless widget means is that the UI is not expected to change.
Okay.
You are not expecting that UI to change, to have any changes. Maybe nothing is going to be loading, no animation is going to be dropping up and down. You're not expecting it, just maybe, for example, maybe a simple login form, for example. You don't really expect too much things to happen. All right, so you don't expect the state of the application to change. So that widget will extend a stateless widget. But in a case where you actually expect changes in your application, you expect the state of the app to change. Maybe when you click on a button, something shows, maybe color changes, or maybe something happens, basically. Are we together? So for example, you are sending a message to somebody and you click send. When you click send, something happens, right? The message pops up in the chat window, right? The message pops up.
Yes.
Right? So that is the stateful widget. Stateful widget basically means that the UI, things in the UI are going to change, they are dynamic. They are going to be changed, you are expecting them to change. All right. So widgets are derived from stateless or stateful widgets. Now, the widgets that are derived from stateless widgets do not have any state. I said that before just now, right? Does not have any state. That states are not changing. They don't have any state information. All right, but it can also contain, although it can contain other widgets that are stateful.
Stateful.
All right, I will explain this one later. We'll see this one later on. All right, but just know the difference between. All right, so we will learn the concept of stateful widgets later on in details. All right.
Okay.
So, but just know that's what it means. So a widget must either extend, is a class that either extends a stateful widget or a what now?
Or a stateless widget.
Or a stateless widget. All right. So do you understand that concept now?
Yes.
So if this guy run app is expecting a widget and I want to create a widget myself called my app, that means this widget I'm creating should also extend. For it to be a widget, what must it extend?
It must extend either a stateful or a stateless widget.
A stateless widget. Perfect. All right. Now, I'll come here. Now, there's a shortcut that Flutter gives us for writing a widget, for creating a widget that either extends a stateful or a stateless widget. All right. So I'll just come here. I'll type STL. Okay. Once I type STL, Flutter gives me two options. Either I'm inserting a stateless widget or a what? A stateful widget. So for example, for now, we're not doing anything crazy. So I just want a simple stateless widget. So I'm not expecting it to change right now in our application. We have not gotten there yet. So a simple stateless widget will do the magic for us. So I'll just click on stateless widget and Flutter will create everything I need to be able to, there's some code that you have written manually, normally, but on your own. But Flutter just writes those code for us. So I'll click on stateless widget. And yes, that has been from line 6 to line 13.
Everything comes created
for us. Yes, but don't forget the widget name here is saying my widget. But what we created here is called what?
My app.
My app, right? That means we have to change the name of the class, and of course, change the name of the constructor because the constructor name has to be the same name with the class.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that one from.
So I have a question.
Sorry? Okay, shoot.
Okay, are we like this code that the IDE wrote for us now? Are we supposed to understand anything inside?
For now, you don't. Since with practice, you understand a lot of things.
Okay.
But for the first instance, just be patient with yourself. All right. Okay. Be patient first. Try and understand as much as you can. The one that you don't understand, rest.
Okay.
Come to it again later on. The more you work with it, the more you see it, the more you understand.
The more I understand, yeah.
Okay. So I want to change this guy from my widget to I'll change it to stateless. Sorry, my app. My app. All right. So now I have this guy. So now there's a way Flutter. Now, what Flutter does for Flutter pampers us a lot. All right. Now Flutter helps us. There's some errors in our code that Flutter can just give us a very quick way to fix it. All right. Now for us to be able to access, now I'm already seeing a blue line in my application. It's telling me something, right? I should use the const. I'll explain this one later on, what this thing means. But for me to quickly fix it, Flutter gives me the ability for me to quickly fix the error. So I'll click on where the error is, and I'll press Control and dot.
Stop.
All right. If I press Control and dot, I can easily fix the error. So there are different ways they are giving me to fix the error. Do I want to ignore the error, or do I want to just fix the error? Do what they say I should do. Let me just do what they say I should do. I should add this thing. So I'll click on it, and that fixes that error. The way Flutter just help us fix that error just now.
Yeah.
So remember, this is a constructor. So coming down, ignore this for now. There is a function here called the build function that was created for us. All right. Now, basically what the build function does is that anytime your app is being run, or anytime your app is being opened, this build function builds the user interface.
Okay.
Are we together?
Yeah.
This build function will build the UI for you. All right. The build function builds the UI for you. And just like every function, a function expects you to return something.
Yeah.
You've done functions before, right?
Yes.
So a function expects you to return something. So the return type of a function is normally at the left-hand side, this guy.
Yeah.
So what does this function expect you to return?
A widget.
A widget. All right. The function is expecting to return a widget. All right. Just understand that part. All right. Yeah. Now, so it means that if I come here and I return a string, let's say hello.
So return back an error.
Because
it's supposed to return a widget. A widget.
A widget, exactly. But I'm giving it a string.
Yeah.
But so I don't want to do that. Let me go and return an actual widget. Then last, we saw a widget called material app. Now, material app basically is how do I describe it? Basically,
the mother. The mother. Should we say the mother?
Exactly, more like the mother. Exactly. So it's like the widget that since we're using material design, so material app is more. It's material app that contains all those
widgets.
The things we need, exactly the widgets we need to actually build UI, Android looking application. All right. So I'll say material. I'm only hearing Mr. Isaiah's voice. How the rest are in this class?
Yes,
see where I went. Okay. See the way I went back for him. Please, if you have any error, let me know. So I don't want to bring back again to start again. If anybody comes in and tell me that I don't understand from the beginning, there's no way I can clean all these things again. Because I just cleaned just now to explain. So if you have any error, just let me know immediately. You understand? So don't be going back and forth. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Now every class has properties. All right. Every class has properties. All right. So a class called material app, I'll hover around material app, and material app has a class called a property called home, a home property. Now this home property also accepts a what?
It accepts a widget.
A widget. So the home property basically is where our application is going to be. All right.
Yeah.
So look at what he's saying. What was on my cursor? He's saying that this is the widget for the default route of the application. Okay. So when the application, when your app opens, this is what they will show to the user. Anything that is inside here is what we show to the user. Okay. Right? So now we want to now start building our user interface, our UI. All right, the screen, the front end, what the user can see. Okay. So what we'll do next is a widget called scaffold. I think I've talked about scaffold before. Scaffold. Can anybody remind me what I said about scaffold? I think I'll start giving assignments. So by next class, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
By next class, let me see people that are in this class now. Why are some people say they're not in the class? All right, okay, at least have recordings of people that are in the class. All right. Miss Jennifer Obasui, Mr. Samuel, Miss Gladys, Mr. Precious. Okay, I think I have people in the last attendance also. So for this attendance, I want to see everybody here. Tell me what is scaffold widget. What does it do? Do a research about it. Google it and see what it's about. Are we together?
Yeah.
That's not too difficult to do now, right? It's not hard, Abba.
No.
Okay. So scaffold. So I'll type in scaffold. Scaffold, my spelling correct? Yes. Now I'm getting a blue line error again. I'll come here. Flutter, let me see if Flutter can fix this for me. Control dot, and I'll choose the first option. I'll explain what this thing means later on, though. Okay. Let's just for now just be fixing the error using Flutter's benevolence to help us fix the error. All right. So I'll come in. Now I'll hover around scaffold. I will look around. Remember I was talking about our bar before, the top bar in WhatsApp. I said it was our bar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that is the app bar. There is something called the bottom navigation bar. Those buttons you are seeing, they're called the bottom navigation bar. Now in between, we have the body of the application. Now if I hover around scaffold, there's a property called what? Can you see my cursor?
Body.
Body, yes. What does it accept?
It accepts a widget.
A widget. So I'll come into my scaffold, I'll type in body, and it's expecting me to put in a widget. All right, so far we've come this far. Now let's continue looking at some other kinds of widgets. All right, so that there's a different kind of widgets. There's a widget here there's a type of widget called layout widgets. Now see the way icons are arranged in your application. Like that, go to your bank app, say OP, for example. You see the way they arrange the text, the pictures, the layer, the icons, everything, where everything is arranged.
Yeah.
Now, from the word itself, layout, what do you think it means? Normal English.
Arrangements.
Arrangement, right? Arrangement. So the way you arrange something, that's the layout of that thing. All right. So now the way they see those icons, those images in your app, Instagram, whatever app you visit, the way they are arranged. Now, if you want to do something like that in Flutter, there's a widget called the layout widget. Or sorry, there are widgets rather called layout widgets. They have the way they arrange. They have the way they arrange. They have the way they arrange things.
Widgets on the UI. Yeah.
Okay. Now they have the way they arrange other guys. So if you want the icons to be arranged, maybe horizontally, there's a widget for that. There's a layout widget for that that can help them arrange them horizontally. If you have the widget that will arrange them vertically, there's a widget for that. If you want to even arrange them on top of each other, stacked on top of each other, there's a widget for that. If you want to arrange, if you have any kind of widget, you want to put it in the center, there's a widget for that. If you want to put it on the left-hand side, there's a layout widget that will arrange them in that particular way you want. Are we together?
Yeah.
So in Flutter, I'm reading the slide now. In Flutter, a widget can be created by composing one or more widgets. So now these widgets, these layout widgets, have something called, though we'll talk about layout widget later on. All right. So out of all these ones, our next topic in our next class will be layout widgets. But out of all these ones, I will only talk about a widget called center. This guy. Okay. Now, a widget called center, what center does that? Any widget under center, any widget that is carrying, so all these widgets now, they are more like parents.
Okay, it's like nesting.
They are more like, sorry?
Is it like nesting?
Nesting, yes. But I don't want to use that technical term because some of the people don't get confused. So it's more like they are just like in a classroom or in a school, for example. In a school, you say, okay, no, that's not a big example. When you go to, okay, no, that's not a big example. All right. So basically, a widget, a layout widget, basically has it's more like acting like a parent. All right. Now, now most people or what you'll be told is that most people or most parents want their children to follow in their footsteps, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, how are you modeling? So how are you modeling your children to follow in your footsteps? What are you teaching them? So basically, that's how these guys are in the layout widgets. They have the way they structure or they arrange their children. So their children can be other widgets. For example, I want to arrange my icons in a horizontal manner. I want to arrange them horizontally. There's a widget that can help me arrange them horizontally. So those with my icons now will now be more like children to that my layout widget. All right, will not be like children to it. So what you will do that since you are my children, I want you to be arranged like this. So every of my children should be arranged, every of the children on that widget should be arranged in a particular manner. So now what center does not accept children. It accepts only one child. Now what it does to that child that is under him is that it would center that child, put that child in the middle. Does that, I don't know if it's the same page, but making sense.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So what our center will do is that we take that child and put it in the center of the page or the screen. Okay. So center of the page. So I'm going to be dealing with center for today. Now, next class, we're talking about other types of layout widgets that can actually use to arrange our icons or our widgets in our page. There's actually something I went to open for us before. I don't know why I didn't open. Let's see if it's open this time. Let me see if it's open this time. All right, so while it's loading, let me just continue with class. All right, so while this project is loading, all right. So I'll come back to my code base. So I've talked about the center widgets, right? So if you don't understand at any point, please just let me know, please. Okay. So I've talked about the center widget. So what does it do? It centers any widget that is under it, any of its child, to center it. So now there are some widgets that are platform independent. What does this mean? It means that these widgets do not matter if you are working on iOS, if you are using Cupertino, or if you are using Material Design. Those widgets will work no matter the widget you are using. For example, the text widget and also the image widget. These are just two examples. Now, the text widget basically is a way for us to write text. All right. What it does is for us to write text. All right. So what I want to do now is that since we're talking about the center widget, we want to write a text, we want to build an application that just maybe writes a very simple text. A very simple text. So first of all, I want to put it in the center. So I want it like whatever anything I want to write should be in what? The center. So I'm going to write my center widget. Now, if I hover around it, remember I see what we're always using, we're hovering around it. If I hover around center, I will see what center is accepting. What property is center accepting here that we want to use right now?
Child.
Hello?
Child.
Child, right? Now, what does child accept?
It's a child accepts a widget.
A widget also, right? So I'll come here, right? Child. Now, I want that. So, who is going to be the child of our center
text?
Our center
center layout widget.
Our center layout widget, exactly. So,
text.
what's going to be the child? So,
text.
We want to center a text, right? So, I'll put in text because text is a widget, and child is expecting what? A widget. So, it could be any widget. All right. Okay, why is this misbehaving? Let me cancel that. Let me just cancel this guy. I think he's corrupting my. All right, so now, how do I now know what text is expecting? What do I do? So what have been doing since? How do I know what something is expecting? What do I do?
You hover it.
I will go around it, right? I will hover it. Thank you. So if I hover over it, I will see that it's accepting so many things. But majorly the first thing it's accepting is the data. Yeah, what text? What text am I going to carry? What exactly you want to display? All right. And what exactly is that displaying?
String.
A string. So I'll come here. I'll have my string. Let's call this welcome to Young Minds in Tech online class. Online class. Sir?
Sorry, not you.
Okay. All right. So welcome to Young Minds in Tech online class. Let me just break this down. Okay, enter so that to make more sense. All right. So Young Mind in Tech online class. So what we want to do now is to test this. All right, so I'm going to test this on my web browser. I can also test it on my emulator, phone emulator. Well, now let me just test it on my web browser. All right, so I'll come here. I'll click on no device. Let me use my Chrome browser. I'll select my Chrome browser. So now I want to test what we have done. All right. So while it's loading, I'll just wait for it. Okay. Oh, now see the way did you see what I just did just now? So in your own, you might be saying either Chrome or no device or Windows. Anyone you are seeing out of those three, just click on it. Then select the device you want. In my case, now I'm using Chrome. So I just select Chrome. Make sure that it's not in Windows, make sure that it's not something else. And I'm sure that select the one you need, the device you want to test your application in. So now I want to test my application in Chrome browser. So I'll click on it, and now I should be seeing Chrome brackets web-javascript. All right. So what else I want to see is guys, now look at my cursor. There's a button here called, you see a button here, right? Start debugging. I want to believe we've done this before, or you have done this before. So I'll click on it, start debugging. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
This is where I am. So I'll click on it. So the project should start debugging anytime soon. All right, so starting debug session. So what I'll just do is to be patient and wait for it to run. Be patient and wait for it to run. So let's give it a minute or two. So we're waiting for it to run. Okay.
Do you actually need data to run this on your web browser?
Yes, you can on web. You need to, yes, you actually need data.
Okay.
Yours is not working.
No, I wanted to just, I was just asking. I'm not sure. I'll try it after the class.
Okay, yes, I actually need data. So let me put my project side by side. So, okay, so I think I should be seeing my text anytime soon. Where is my text? Okay, still loading. Okay, so you can see my screen, right?
Wow.
So it's showing welcome to YMIT online class. So for that text, if I want to make my text bigger, although that's not supposed to be for this class, okay, let me just pause for now. All right, so if you notice, my text widget is now in the center.
Yeah.
Did you notice that it's at the center, right? So even if I increase the page or I reduce it, it will still find a way to be where?
In the center. In
the center. So even if I reduce to the smallest, it's still adjusting to be in the center. All right. So that's an introduction to widgets. We have so many other widgets out there that we are going to be using. We've seen a little bit an introduction to widgets. We've seen a little bit about layout widgets. We talked a little bit about stateless widgets and things like that. Okay. So far, any question so far?
I have a question.
Okay, shoot.
Concerning this center, this layout widget center that has a child. The child is text. Now there is a keyword when they newly introduce this particular library method that there's a keyword called extend. What's the difference between nesting a child inside a child widget into a parent widget and extending a widget?
Okay. Extending a widget, basically, the word extend means that you want to inherit from this guy. So it means that this guy is inheriting things that this guy has.
Okay.
That's what this one means. This class is on its own, right? The stateless widget class is on its own. But where my app is going to collect some things, inherit some things from him.
Okay.
All right. So, but this other one is that this other nesting that we are doing here is that if I hover around it, look at, let me go to check, let me go to center. Center has a widget called a property called child.
Mm-hmm.
Property called child, which is accepting a widget. They are not really inheriting from center. What center
Okay.
is this? Center is a Williams widget on its own that any widget you put inside there, even if it's an icon or even if it's a text or
It
if
carries
it's a
its
picture,
property.
it will just put it in the center. That's his work.
Okay.
That's his own work. To just put it in the center. All right. There are other layers widgets there that arrange things in different formats. But the simplest to explain or simplest to talk about right now, or the only one we're talking about right now is the center widget.
Widget. Okay.
So I'm going to at least answer that question to you.
Yes, yes.
All right, perfect. So is there another person?
Hello? 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 Hello?
Maybe it's
Can
network.
anyone hear me?
Me, I can hear you, but maybe it's his own network.
Okay, I want to ask concerning displaying this layouts like
Okay, oh, Mr. Saseri.
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, concerning displaying the text, please, can you please emphasize on more to it, please.
Concerning what?
Displaying the text through Chrome. Can you please emphasize on it?
Displaying the text.
Yes, like the text. Okay, welcome to YML online class. The stuff that
Yes.
you did on the right hand side of the screen. Can you please explain how do we do that? Because I'm finding it difficult in doing so.
Okay. Before we got here, there's a process we followed before we got here. Mr. I think somebody asked me this question before. Mr. Isaiah, can you explain this?
Okay, I should explain. From where should I explain?
You heard this question, right?
Yeah, I had this question. I displayed this stuff on
Okay,
the.
from the container. Oh, sorry, from this center that is here. Can you
Oh,
explain?
okay. According to what was taught just now, let me just start from this home scaffold and body. This body, the body is a widget, and now our goal is to center a text. That is to display centered text. And now to display centered text, everything in Flutter is a widget. So we actually need a widget that does a center layout, which has to do with that layout, examples of layout widget. And this one centers whatever you put, any widget at all, be it text, image, color, or whatever. So now this body now receives a widget, which is called center. And center is a layout widget that centers its child. And center as a widget also it needs a widget, it receives a widget which is called child. And what is this child? Now the child can be any widget which you want to display at the center of your browser. In this case, we are displaying a text, and the text now is returning a string. And what is this string? This string is what is in the bracket, denoted by this quote: welcome to YMIT online class, then bracket close. So it's actually the center. It's the child now is displaying a text. This text is returning a string which is centered due to this center layout widget. So can anybody hear me? Hello.
Can hear you.
What happened again?
Okay, yes, thank you, Mr. Isaiah. Sorry, my network went off. All right.
Okay.
But I think from the explanation you actually gave, it actually makes a lot of sense. And yeah, thank you very much. It shows that you
Your
the
network is
question
breaking.
that you asked and everything you are able to catch things up to a very good extent. Okay, Mr. Osasere, did you understand what he said? My network is bad actually. It's raining over here.
Hello, sir. Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Can you
yes.
hear me?
Okay,
Yes.
what I really meant, I understand those explanations previously. I meant, is there any extension as in what kind of
Can you hear me?
Okay. Now I understand your question.
having issue because I'm having difficulties in displaying
Hello,
that
can you hear
text.
me?
It's not all about the coding. It's all about the how do I
Okay.
You can hear me, right?
How you display it on the Chrome web browser?
you said?
Is it you are talking about how to display it on the web browser? Network issue.
Hello.
Is it how you display it on the Chrome browser itself that you're talking about?
Yes, through the
Okay.
link extensions. Like because I don't know, I was trying to like install it.
Is that what you're asking?
You don't
Hello?
actually need any, there is no need for an extension now.
I can barely hear it, please.
It was actually taught on the previous class now. This network of it, oh well. I go watch my anime. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my network was misbehaving. All right. Okay, so you were asking if I got the question rightly before my network went off. You were asking how did I display it over here, not the code. You understand the code, right? Now you're asking.
Yes, that was what he was asking.
Okay, is this still here? Okay, yeah, it's there. Okay, Mr. Osasa, if you can hear me, I just hope you can hear me because I don't know how to say it again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mr. Osaseri. But the rest of you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
How do we show Chrome just now?
Jeez, well.
Miss Jennifer of us, please, how we open this Chrome browser just now?
Okay, I shall explain.
Okay, yes.
Okay, if you have Chrome on your laptop already, you just go over to this left part of your screen on your VS Code where it is showing no device, or it will be showing something else, but mine is showing the emulator I'm using now. The down part of your screen, the bottom right, you see a right up there, no device. You just click on it and you see a list of stuff you can use. You can use Chrome or Edge or Windows, or if you have any emulator installed, you also see there. It's just for you to pick the one you want to use. And for this class, we are using Chrome. Just click on Chrome. Then you go over to this place that has a pause and bug sign. When you hover around it, you see start debugging. You just click on it and wait for a while. If you have network, it's going to pop up.
Okay, all right. Mr. Joseph,
Mr.
if you-
Charles.
Network.
I understood now. Hello. No.
yeah, hello. Sorry, my network is pretty bad. It has been bouncing me out of the class since. All right. Very sorry for that. Okay, so any further questions so that we can any other questions so that we can call it a day? Before we call it a day. Okay, Mr. Sasere has asked, Miss Precious or Mr. Precious, Mr. Godfrey, Miss Judith, Mr. Samuel, are you still in this class?
I'm in the class, just that I'm just trying to figure out. I don't know if I didn't really get the explanation on how to get to this other part that is showing localhost.
And that's why I told you that if you don't understand any part I'm explaining, what did I say just now? I said just now that before I start moving too fast, before I start moving ahead, that if you have any issue, I said just now that if you have any issue with anything I explained, if I even go further, just let me know. So I'll just pause and attend to you. Mr. Isaiah did that, and some other persons also did, I've also asked questions, so I started just now. All right. We're all here to learn, okay? So if you have a question, why the class is still going on, as I gave the opportunity of saying, once the class is still going on, you don't have to wait at the ending. At least for this step, just ask me the question immediately. Okay? Mr. George, are you just coming?
Good afternoon.
Mr. Precious or Miss Precious? Okay, Mr. George, you're just coming to class.
I didn't know that it was supposed to be this time.
Oh, okay. But we are just rounding up though.
Oh,
Maybe
this is the first time I'm
recording of the
attending the
class,
online class.
when the recording of the class comes up, when it's been uploaded, you would. I hope you also the recording of the last class.
No.
Sorry.
No, something happened to my phone after we stopped the physical
No, it was
classes.
sent
So
today.
when
It was sent today. It was sent today.
oh, I've not checked it out.
Yeah, it was sent today. This
I
morning.
will check it out.
Okay.
Is
All right.
it
So
the class
if you have so
on
many
Monday?
questions, I tell you to the exactly what we just learned. If it's something you need to go back to just revise on your own. Of course, I don't expect to understand it immediately. All right, I don't expect to understand immediately, but you still have to go back on your own personal time now. All right, just to do a revision to see, okay, just look at it again. The more you look at it, to make sense. If you believe that when you look at it, as you're reading it, you're not understanding it, there are online resources out there. This particular topic, widgets in Flutter, just go on Google, you see materials on it. You can just as a support material to what you have learned in class today. Do you understand? The resources are out there online. It's not a one-man resource. The resources are out there in the internet. All right. You can just take a material, even to a YouTube video. For those of you that like hearing people's voice or like watching YouTube video, there's even a YouTube video you can actually just click on and watch. And then this topic, just search for this topic on YouTube, widgets in Flutter. You can get to understand more of this topic. All right. In case maybe what I explained in class, you didn't fully understand it, at least there are some parts you grabbed or some parts that was confusing. You can get to understand this thing better on at your own time, at your own pace. Maybe after that cold evening shower, all right, when your head is calm, you can actually just get to learn this thing again. Are we good? Miss Judith, is that okay?
It's okay, but I just want you to just touch it a little, please.
Touch a little bit of where am I touching? Where?
How to get this local host?
Yeah?
Okay,
the
Chrome this thing.
Yes,
Okay,
this place are your company.
Yes, this place here. Mr. Azaya just explained this just now. I asked him to explain it. Because Mr. Osaseri asked the same question. Mr. Osaseri asked the same question, and then Mr. Azaya, I told him to explain it. And also I think Miss Jennifer also explained the same thing to him. All right. Okay, let me explain it. Okay. So basically, what we did here was that after we finished writing our code, if you come down to in your browser, you see, say your browser, your VS Code. Let me open it up. If you see where my cursor is, can you see it?
Yes.
When you click on it, your own, you might be seeing no device. Like initially, before I click on this thing, I was seeing no device. You might be seeing Windows something 64, blah, blah, blah. Windows 64, something. Some of you, your own might be showing like this already, by default. Some of you, either you are seeing three things you've been seeing. Either you are seeing no device, or you'll be seeing Windows 64, blah, blah, blah. Or you might be seeing Chrome web, this particular one, right? So when you see this, anyone you see, just click on it. All right. And now I want to run mine on my Chrome. So I'll come here, I will see a list of different things. I have so many emulators. I have my Pixel Fold, so many emulators. I have Edge web browser, but I want to test it on my Chrome. So I will come here, I will click on what now? I'll click on Chrome. When I click on Chrome, it means I want to test my application on Chrome. Next thing I want to do, I should be seeing Chrome here like this now. If you click on Chrome and you're not seeing this, it means I probably did not click well or something went wrong. All right, so you should be seeing this guy like this here. When you after doing this, make sure you are in your main.dat. See my cursor?
Yes.
Make sure you are in your main.dat file. When you're in your main.dat, you should be seeing, if you're in your main.dat page or file, you should be seeing this guy by the right hand side. This one.
Yes.
That's my cursor, right?
Yes.
That's debugging. So just click on it and that would start it. When you click on it, just give it like a minute or two. Just give like 5 minutes. Just like 5 minutes for it to boot up. Make sure you have internet connection, all right, in your laptop, or if you're testing to Chrome, just have internet connection, and then it should open up the Chrome. It should open up this. Is that clear?
Which means I mean that I should highlight it.
Main.dat highlight. No, I didn't highlight anything just now.
Okay.
I didn't highlight anything just now.
I should leave the console on the main.dat.
No. I said I was showing you the main.dat file that you should be in the main.dat file. This is the main.dat file. Yes, that's why I say you should be in the main.dat file. If you are in the main.dat file, this guy should show. If you are here, you see this start debugging, you click on it.
Yeah.
And then you start. The process will start, this whole thing will show where my cursor is, this whole thing, and then the app starts running. All right.
Okay.
All right, so without further, okay, this is the last question I'll be taking. You have a question, Mr. Isaiah? Last question I'll be taking for today.
Look, I just have a quick question, very quick one.
Okay.
This
Yeah, is the class
question too.
Somebody's already asking. That's the last person I'm taking. Mr. George is talking, right?
No, sir,
yes,
I was
yes.
disconnected though. I wanted
No,
to ask, but I was fighting with network.
I'm not asking a question about the code. It's just a quick question. I wanted to ask, is the class every Monday?
Yes, every Monday, yes.
Okay.
Every Monday.
Time, 1 p.m.
1 p.m., yes. So if there's any change, we'll let you know. Just stay updated on the group chat once it's Monday. All right.
Okay.
We'll let you know
All
on
right,
time when if there's any changes. Which one is coming come first? All right. If it's UI
All right.
that's coming first, so sometimes UI UX instructor might be indisposed at that time. So the other one might come first. So around that 10 o'clock in the morning, just be available and just be checking the group chat to know which one is coming first.
All right.
You
All right. Thank you
understand?
very much.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So I think that's all I can take for today. All right. That's all I can actually take for today. Okay. So the recording of the class, the continuing on will be posted later this week. All right. Once it's been the recording will be posted later this week. All right. So without further ado, thank you all for your participation. Yes, thank you for participation. And yes, like I said, now next class we're going to be talking about layout widgets. So yes, in your assignment, I've been giving you an assignment before. Go and look at scaffold widgets, right? Scaffold widgets. And just read about that's for the assignment. Then for our next class, we're going to be talking about layout widgets in Flutter. So you can just go online, just read about research about layout widgets, so that we're not going to spend too much time about talking about it. All right, and also do other things, practicals and the rest. So read about layout widgets, row widgets, container widgets, column widgets, etc, stack and the rest. All right, so just read about them and we'll be good to go. So without any further ado, who is Chris Ogo? I don't think I've seen his name before in this class.
Jose.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I think. Okay. All right. So, without further ado, yes, thank you very much, Miss Jennifer Obasui. Okay. All right, now, do have a nice day. The recording will be sent. This week. Do have a nice day.
You have a nice day too. Thank you so much.